What is up, everybody? This is iBreak Cards, and welcome back to Cardboard Talks. For those of you who are newer to the channel, Cardboard Talks is a podcast type thing I used to do on the channel. I think it was years ago, and we would just kind of discuss what was going on in the hobby and so on and so forth. And I kind of want to bring that back now that I have a little more time. So, without further ado, we're going to hop right in. We're going to talk about what's been going on in the Twitterverse. We're going to talk about new releases, personally what I've been doing in the hobby, and so on and so forth. And without further ado, let's hop right in. To start, we want to talk about our box break highlights. I started doing box breaks again, and I am more than thrilled. I've missed doing it just so much. I had to get out of it basically because I was full-time in college. I was running a mowing business. I was working an after-school job, and then COVID hit, and that didn't help. Prices skyrocketed. Prices are still not phenomenal, but I've been able to keep teams at about $20, and I feel that that is still a reasonable price. And I'm trying to get the best bang for your guys' buck. Now, something that goes along with that is I'm also trying to find a wholesale person to possibly add in another box or newer or better quality boxes. And so far, I haven't had much luck, but I am going to be doing some more shows, and I'm going to try to find some people that maybe I can get some cheap boxes from for the breaks, or maybe something along those lines, some contact I can reach out to for cheaper boxes. But we'll figure out how that goes. The box break honestly didn't go that bad. It was actually 2 Saturdays ago, or nope, 1 Saturday ago by the time I release this video. I'll be putting it up on Thursday. We hit a Sauce Gardner auto out of our Clearly Authentic football, which was exciting. We hit a Romeo Dobbs auto in our first box, and then we hit a green Chris Olave, which I believe was number 250 auto as well. So not bad. The absolute wasn't the best. We got some rookies out of it, and we got some rookies out of our Bowman. Our Bowman autos, who knows? They could be worth something. And there were a lot of first Bowmans in there that got randomly divided out to people. And as I record this on Wednesday, for this to come out the following day, people may be receiving their packages by today or technically tomorrow for me. Other things I've been up to, I went and picked up 3 graded cards from the 60s. They were all baseball. Really low grades, like 4s or 3s. You could definitely tell who they were. The corners were just rounded. Nothing we could do. Cards are just old. They've been loved, and they've been graded pretty low. I only got those for 10. They had them up for 20 on Facebook Marketplace here the other day. And so I ended up going and just really enjoying talking to this guy who is really new to the hobby. And for those of you who are new to the hobby, you understand what it's like. It's the first day at school. It's the first day at a new job. And those are some hard situations for people. He had never been to a show. He wanted to go to a show. He had only been back to collecting for a couple months. And the graded cards came from like a repackaged product he had gotten from the internet. And he showed me the website, and it was rather interesting, but not something really I was into. But I got those 3 graded cards for $10, and I talked him into going to a show at the end of the month. He was really into Bowman. He's a Cardinals fan, and I stood there for 2 hours talking to him. I think it was 50 degrees, so it was cold. I don't think I was wearing a jacket. And then I came home, only for my fiance to tell me I had sunburned my face, nose, arms, shoulders, etc. And I'm definitely feeling the brunt of that. But it was worth it to get another member into the hobby. You could tell he had that passion just to get into it. And I was really happy to give him, some tips, some advice, and so on and so forth. He asked about grading. He asked about products. I told him about the shops we have here locally with Fast Break Sports. We have a new one coming here soon. I think it's called Arrowhead Sports Cards, and then we have one downtown. So I was really thrilled to just talk to him about that. It was not planned to talk for 2 hours, but it happened regardless. Something else I've been doing recently is getting ready for a show at the end of the month. And if you guys are in the Missouri area, whether it's northern Arkansas or southwest Missouri, you guys should come check it out. It's rather new. They've only been doing it for a year or two now. And it's a show at the Relics Event Center on Battlefield Road in Springfield, Missouri. This is one that is somewhat local for me, and I sold there once. It's a Friday, Saturday show. I believe it's May 26th and 27th. I didn't check to see if that was the last Friday or Saturday of the month, but it is the last Friday or Saturday of the month for the show. It's exciting. You get all kinds of people. My LCS will be there, which is Fast Break Sports. They're over on Campbell. I've loved them for years. They used to be at the Battlefield Mall, and they've since moved. They do a great job. They recently did a dog food and cat food exchange, and you could do their dice game to win prizes for bringing in dog food and cat food and such. And I thought that was awesome, helping a local charity, giving away cards, growing the hobby in a positive light, which is all that, we really should be doing for the hobby. But the show will be fun. I'll be set up. I'll have half a table, and my friend Chris will be there with a full table, and we'll be, wheeling and dealing. I'll bring a box. I've got a ton of Chiefs stuff I've put out. I've got autos and jerseys I've since reorganized. I'll be selling a ton of slabs, on and on and on. So I'm really looking forward to that. Possibly wanting to do a vlog for that day or 2 days. It's a Friday, Saturday. And just kind of be, again, transparent, show you guys what we're doing, show you my setup, talk about, how the day went, my advice, what I've learned. Maybe try to do a trade-up challenge, something I've seen a lot of on TikTok and Facebook and Twitter, YouTube. And I just recently also started a TikTok. I was very against myself. I found it cringy because I loved Vine back in the day. But I've started uploading to TikTok, and it's the same stuff I upload to my Twitter and Instagram as well. The short videos, the way back Wednesdays, the soon-to-be Freebie Fridays, and then Mondays will be our wrap-up from our break the Saturday before. It'll be like a top 3 hits kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. One other thing I did, yesterday I woke up around 8 a.m., saw a lot for sale on Facebook, and messaged the guy, and surprisingly got messaged back really quick. He had a ton of stuff for sale, and this is a video I'm going to post on Tuesday. He had a ton of stuff for sale, 1 in 400 for the whole lot, and that was too much in my opinion. That's a break-even kind of thing. But he decided to take out 2 Bobby Witt rookies he had graded, I think 9 and 9.5. No autos, no numbering or anything. Not very popular sets, if I recall correctly. And that lowered the price to $200, and I was game. I gave it very little thought, honestly, to drive past Kansas City to where the Chiefs usually do their warm-up for the regular season and do their spring training, we could call it, as they get ready in the preseason and whatnot in St. Joseph. And went there. Guy was really nice. Got all the cards, came back, looked at them. And I'll be shooting a video this afternoon to put out next week, like I said, of the whole collection and whether I can turn a profit or not. Simply, giving an answer, yes. The question is how much. There were about 5 or 6 graded cards. There were Mahomes, there were Kelsey's, there were a lot of basketball rookies I had to talk to my friend Chris about. So thanks to him, and shout out to him for helping me with the rookies, and so on and so forth. So those are things that I'm really excited to kind of discuss with you guys and look forward to doing. Again, that show is May 26th and 27th at Relics. We'll be in the very, very back. Unfortunately, we've requested to move to somewhere more central because we don't get as much foot traffic. We've noticed that people skip our area, but we still enjoy it. We still have a good time. And this will be our first time doing Friday and Saturday. Last time we were only able to get the table for Friday. So regardless, we are very much looking forward to it. And let's move on to new releases for next week. Next week, we're going to see Donruss Baseball. Not the worst product, not the best product. I prefer it for football. The rated rookies look really good. For baseball, I just prefer Topps rookies. You can pull stuff. It can be worth money, but not one of my favorites when they can't use logos. So I'm looking forward to seeing more products where logos can be used. We'll have Sterling Baseball, one of those, I would say, median range products. I haven't opened it in years. We've got Donruss Optic Basketball, and Optic Football, actually, I believe are 2 of the best when it comes to basketball and football for rookies, that and Prism. And then we'll also have Optic Football. So Optic is hitting big, and that's according to a website I looked at earlier. That would be Beckett release calendar. So if you guys are at all interested, there you go. You now know what's coming out next week. Typically stuff releases on, I think it's Wednesday, Fridays. Lastly, one thing I want to talk about is kind of what I'm seeing on Twitter and what is going on news-wise in the sphere of the hobby community. So there's a couple things I've seen here recently, and it's a lot of the typical things. It's gripes and groans over certain things, but with reason. So here recently there was a Dinerchi Valdez. I'm probably way mispronouncing that auto. And a lot of people were saying, it's not necessarily a chicken scratch or an initial auto, but it's just literally every letter written out as if it was like somebody just learning how to write their name. And maybe that's the case. Who knows? But the autograph isn't the prettiest. And that's what's drawing some ire and some bad shade. But also a lot of people are, coming together and saying, well, hey, there's autos. At least he has autos. And that's not the worst we have ever seen. And that is very, very true. There also was a Royals autograph where a lot of people think it was somebody from the company wrote "sign here" on the card for Bowman, just as an example of where the player should sign, and that ended up getting thrown into packs as well. Quality control seems to be going down across the hobby, unfortunately. There was a month or two ago where somebody found a cough drop, still in the package, not used, thank goodness, in a box. I mean, we've seen people miss hits. We've seen people, not get, what they've been guaranteed, or, stuff comes out of the box damaged, on and on and on. And it just begs the question of if it's even worth it to reach out, because it takes forever for these companies to, reach back out. Regardless, that's one thing I've heard. There's also an eBay user called Phobias, and this is no mean a call out. This is just a warning to you guys. Phobias. I'm not telling you whether to block this person or not, but one thing people have noticed really is either people are in the hobby for the love of the hobby, or people are in it to make money. And you can do both. Personally, I want to make some money, but I want to have fun. And they are selling a used redemption. And so I've seen this before. A player gets big, they sell the redemption. People buy all the packs, out of a box, they open them, people sell the box. On and on. There's stuff like that in the hobby. And if people don't read descriptions or titles correctly, they do get burned, or maybe they just want the box because they collect the player. I personally couldn't tell you. But then somebody also shared that they were showing a card on their page as well that included a missing autograph out of Bowman. Missing autograph can literally be missing, or you can take rubbing alcohol to something and remove the autograph. I know because I've done this. I got something from a neighbor at one point. The autograph was somebody I looked up that only played I think he started 2 games for the Chiefs over 3 years and then never played again. I removed the autograph off of a helmet because I thought the helmet was so much cooler by itself, and if I wanted to go get it autographed by Mahomes or Kelsey or, somebody one day, it would be much cooler just to have their autograph on it. It was something I kind of kicked around a lot, and I decided to ultimately do it. I felt as though it could be a little disrespectful, but at the same time, I also saw the upside to what the helmet could be. I've since then moved the helmet. I sold it to somebody who was going to go literally use it for the reason I was. I don't live in Kansas City. It would have been hard for me to go get an autograph, let alone bring a helmet into a stadium. So I sold it to somebody who was going to use it for that exact reason. They did. It looked flawless. So that's perfect. The final thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Fanatics. Fanatics and Groupon have had something going on for a while. If you don't know what Groupon is, you get a gift card for cheaper. It's $100 for $75 or $65 or something like that. They have since basically blocked users from buying gift cards to use on wax. You cannot use a Groupon to buy wax anymore. The only way I can think of around this is that if you go to Sam's for $100, and you can do this on the website as well, you can get a Sam's gift, or a Sam's. Through Sam's, you go to their website or in person to one of their stores, you get a Fanatic gift card. You can buy a $100 one for $80. So you still save a little bit of money, but I went and I looked this morning on Fanatics, and their Bowman University was $155, which is about 30 more than I think I bought a box for recently. So I don't know if they're really the best to go to in wax. The cheapest I've personally found for wax has been eBay. eBay has been the absolute cheapest and the best. So that's how you can kind of get around that if you're wanting to. But like I said, I've been using eBay a lot recently, and I've enjoyed them a lot more. Otherwise, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully this is something you can, just throw on in the background. I'll sit here. Hopefully I can have on some guests soon, learn how to, have like a Skype call and record it correctly. In the past, we did interviews with pro players, we did interviews with super collectors, and I want to bring stuff like that back. So if you are interested in being on the channel and just talking about, what got you into the hobby, what you collect, and so on and so forth, that would be great. Let me know if you're interested. You can comment below or reach me on Twitter at iBreakCards. Thank you guys so much for listening. Out of habit, I almost said watching. I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you all later.